be sure to check out Rob Plays. There you can hang out with me while we play video games and talk about life stuff. So what I want to do here is have a discussion about Suicide Squad Rebirth. And what I'm hoping is that at the end of all this, you'll have a better understanding of the team in relation to the New 52 and pre-New 52 continuities. So while Suicide Squad Rebirth number 1, like all the Rebirth specials, is billed as being the perfect jumping off point for readers wanting to follow the team, this version of the Suicide Squad actually made its debut in Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad April Fool's Special number 1, which was published in April of 2016, over a month prior to the release of the DC Universe Rebirth special. In this issue, written by Rob Williams and drawn by Jim Lee, both of whom, along with artist Philip Tan, will make up the creative team of the main Suicide Squad series going forward, Harley Quinn is approached by Amanda Waller to evaluate potential members of a new Suicide Squad to see if they'd make suitable additions to the team. As a result, the version of the team seen at the end of this comic, Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, Katana, and Killer Croc, is nearly identical to the lineup that's featured in the Suicide Squad film, demonstrating a clear desire by DC to bring the Suicide Squad title more in line with their extended universe. This principle is also demonstrated by the fact that Amanda Waller's appearance is significantly different from her New 52 iteration, where she was depicted as young and extremely attractive, and more in line with her traditional look, as she's depicted as noticeably older and heavier. Now, with regards to the issue, the comic opens up with Amanda Waller meeting with President Barack Obama at the White House as he looks at a photo of Harley Quinn biting the face of a prison guard. After a while, the president informs Amanda Waller that because the Suicide Squad has been operating without any governmental supervision, as well as the controversial nature of the tactics they employ to recruit members and keep them in line, he's effectively shutting the program down. In an attempt to change his mind, Waller suggests bringing in Colonel Rick Flag Jr., a decorated war hero of high moral character, to be the public face of Suicide Squad, also known as Task Force X. As a result, the president reluctantly agrees and allows Task Force X to continue its operations under Waller's direction. From here, Waller goes to visit Rick Flag, who we find out has been detained in Guantanamo Bay for disobeying an order that he felt would endanger the lives of those under his command, which would lead to their deaths. Now, the appearance of Rick Flag in this issue is notable for two reasons. First, it symbolizes DC's commitment to returning to the long legacy of their comics and characters that was one of the driving forces behind the Rebirth initiative. Rick Flag was one of the central characters of John Ostrander's lengthy and renowned run on the title in the late 80s and the early 90s, serving as the team's field commander. However, when the DC Universe was rebooted with a Flashpoint event, Rick Flag was mysteriously absent in the New 52 universe that was created, despite the Suicide Squad existing two different iterations during the New 52 era, where Waller informs Rick Flag that the Suicide Squad are villains that have had bombs surgically implanted into their brains that will detonate should they step out of line. She also offers Flag a position as the field commander. Now, where Flag initially scoffs at her offer, Waller's persistent and makes an attempt to convince him by appealing to Flag's deep sense of morality to convince him to become the leader of the Suicide Squad, citing the fact that he would be able to save lives and give the villains that make up the team's roster a much-needed moral compass. From here, we cut to Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and Captain Boomerang on a mission in Mongolia to retrieve a scientist named Mark Lundberg, who's been taken hostage by a group of criminals calling themselves Dogger War and forced to build a metabomb which would have the effect of turning everyone within its blast radius into a superhuman for 36 hours, while simultaneously stripping the powers of any superhumans in the area for the same length of time. Seeing that the Dogger War have already given themselves superpowers, the Suicide Squad soon see themselves outmatched after initially finding the scientist and the bomb. However, Lundberg is soon captured, and in order to keep the metabomb from falling back into the hands of the criminals, Captain Boomerang severs the hands of the scientists that are holding the case with one of the razor-sharp boomerangs. Realizing, however, that if the criminals get Lundberg back into their possession, that they'll be able to force him to create another bomb, Deadshot complies with an order he receives to eliminate the scientists before that can happen. Now, with the bomb secured and Lundberg dead, the Suicide Squad detonate the bomb in order to reverse its effects and render the Dogger War powerless once again, and the team begins to make their way out of Mongolia. And so as the issue comes to a close, it's revealed that the person in command of the team and the one who gave Deadshot the order to kill the scientist is actually Rick Flag, who's accepted Waller's offer and taken the Suicide Squad under his command. Now, as far as this story goes, this issue is really nothing out of the ordinary. We are shown that the team will do what it takes in order to complete their mission and is willing to make the hard decisions for the greater good, as evidenced by killing an innocent scientist to keep him from being captured by the enemy, and where his work could have devastating consequences. What really stands out about this issue, however, is the balance between the stated objectives behind the Rebirth initiative. What we see here is a modern take on the team, with a lineup of characters similar to what will be seen in the film, which seeks to accomplish the goal of capitalizing on the buzz surrounding the movie. However, this does not come at the expense of the legacy of the Suicide Squad, and in fact, we see the legacy embraced in a way that was absent in the New 52. If you've seen my video on the New 52 Amanda Waller, you'll notice that she was a longtime director in charge of Task Force X and has been returned to a pre-New 52 look and characterization, and we also see the return of a popular character that's been missing from the DC universe in Rick Flag. Since the idea behind Rebirth was to highlight the legacy of DC characters while still presenting a fresh take on them, I'd say that this issue is pretty successful in capturing the spirit of DC Rebirth as a whole. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and bring this video to an end. Let me know what you guys think about DC Rebirth and Suicide Squad Rebirth. I'm kind of curious, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.